Good evening. I've not done any trade recap videos for a few days. Been a bit tired. It's end of a day here in the UK. It's 9 PM. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Also had been a bit of a crappy week as well. I've over traded every day apart from today has been a red day, and I didn't really want to talk about it because I just wanted to just run away from it. But I thought I use today as a recap video to go through my trades and hopefully get some better mindset from the next few trading sessions. So we'll start off with yesterday because I can remember yesterday quite clearly. Yesterday I had a few levels in place. In fact, we'll go back to Wednesday, Tuesday even, because every day I've hit my levels. Every day my levels worked. You can see it, nailed it there, nailed it here. This level here was a good level. Again, yesterday was a cracking level, and then today came back into the same level off of this trend line, which if I zoom out is a big trend line. It goes back to October 2023, and all the levels worked, and even the break and retest. Oh, let's put that back down to even the break and retest off of this hourly channel or bull flag came down, retested, worked as well. And this level up here, 5106, also worked, which we have been watching for a few days as well. So every single level's worked, and I've taken them, and I've done okay from the levels I've taken. So that one today. Yesterday I took that one there, and I took that one, and I took that one. Day before I took the bounce there, and I took the rejection up there, and all worked perfectly. And however, it's the way I've been managing my trades. I've been, instead of just setting my loss, I've kind of tightened up my stop loss, and I think that's what's affected me. So usually I give myself a bit of a larger area to allow the trade to breathe a bit. But I tightened my stop loss up to just 10 ticks, and as you know, with ES or MES, 10 ticks is not much, and it can tick you out, whip you out in an instant, which has been really annoying. And I think since I've tightened my stop loss up, it's affected my trading. So I'm gonna rethink my risk management. And what I'm gonna do is, for tomorrow, I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna go back to my old method, because what I've been using on NinjaTrader is the ATM strategies, I think it's called. So I kind of, when I get into a trade, it automatically puts a 10 tick stop loss in. It puts in a 3-hour target and a 5-hour target and a 10-hour target. So I've got 3 contracts it gets me in to start with, and then I've got a very tight stop loss. And obviously it hits the stop loss quite a lot, so I'm getting back in, and I'll just go over today's trade because it's fresh in my mind. So we had this big data candle at 8:30. Let's go to the 5-minute. So I've seen the levels work, and they're all marked up on here. And my plan for the data candle, if I ever take it, is to mark off the high and low of the 5 minutes. So let's do that now. And then usually, let's just change that fib to my data fib, which is data drop. That one there. So what I do, marks up the high and the low. I can see levels already. It's really frustrating. And I also drop in a anchored VWAP on that candle as well. So that just shows you, gives you an idea of what's going to happen next. Today I decided to short it there, which is at one of my levels. Just make that a bit thicker. So I went to short it at 50.8750, and then it stopped me out. Then I shorted it at, I think I came in for the short here, it stopped me out. I tried the short here. I don't know, I should have just quit. That should have been my one and only trade. And then I tried to short there, a little bit of a gain, and then stopped me out. And then it came up into this area here, which I did short, only briefly, and in fact, take that back, it wasn't that area, it was this area. So yeah, I traded a lot, and I've forgotten a lot of my trades. That's how much I've ever traded today. Over the last few days, it's been exactly the same. So clear the screen. So by the time, in fact I did get into that trade, so by the time I got up here, I was exhausted. I've been stopped, been stopped, and finally I got into a trade up there, and I like to think it's the levels what did it, because I knew I was coming into a level I was watching, and this was on the hourly. If I just go back to the hourly, it's this neck and shoulder, this head and shoulders of this head and shoulders pattern. So we've got this head and shoulders pattern here, and we've got the neck, the head, the left shoulder and the right shoulder, and that's been marked up as an area, potential short area, higher risk, because we were close to the start. You know, the market open 9:30, so just this is where we were at 9:30 here. So it's a higher risk short, but I got in there and it worked out fine. And technically, ignoring this short here, maybe that's just a high risk pre-market trade. Technically, it should have been my first trade of the day at one of my hourly levels. I know it wasn't quite there, but it's up in and around that area. So that worked out well, and I took some. By the time I got to that trade day, I'd already stopped out 4 times running up here. So this is me trying to let it run, and I want to leave it. Basically, I wanted it to be a home run trade to get myself back to break even or even in profit. And by the time, so I think my entry was about here, and I didn't add as well. In fact, I did add. In fact, I went in a bit heavy here, so I was getting frustrated. So I was down more than what I should have been, probably about 6R down when I should have been 4R down because there's 4 losses. By the time I got down to here, I was getting close to break even, and I reversed because it came into this level again. It happened to be the yesterday's high. We talked about it in the pre-market video. Yesterday's high, I'm looking for a bounce. So I got in, and in fact, the first time I got in, I took profit on this trade, so I wasn't quite break even, but I was pretty much there. I got in and it stopped me out because I'm using a very tight stop again. So I waited this time for it to come back up, got back in. My stop loss was on the top. Funny this, the fibs, well, I don't know why I didn't draw it in. The top of this candle, bottom of this candle, this is a 50% area. So this is the fibs line. Look at that, it bounced straight off of that. This is my data drop play. Comes in, watch for a bounce, or if the market comes down, we look for a short. That's kind of the 2 plays I like. Came in, bounced off it, or like today I can use it as confirmation, but I didn't even look at that. I wasn't even focused on that data candle. Came in and look at this VWAP. You can see on the way up we pulled back to the VWAP. That should have been a long there rather than me trying to short it. And then we came in, we kind of rejected or bounced off of that VWAP before we did finally break down through it. So this weighted VWAP was really important. As you can see, the rest of the day played out to it. This is the normal VWAP, and it's way different. Although it did mark the bottoms of the play, and the weighted and the anchor VWAP marked the tops of the play. So maybe I should put that on my screen more often on the 8:30. You can see it rejected that, bounced off the bottom, and again that's the top of this candle. Rejected the anchor VWAP again, and then we came through, we come up, retested the top of that candle, and then we dropped down. So yeah, and I was trying to and it's this chop area here which really did it for me. I was trying to continue to short down, and I was trying to continue long up, and it just got messy. But the bounce was okay. That got me back to close to break even, but I didn't want to walk away. I wanted a green day because I've had red days all week. And so I tried to play the pullback up to the double top, and obviously it stopped me out short. In the end, I just sat back a bit, and I think I was trying to go long here, and then you saw this big drop. But I did get into some of this. I think I got into the end of this where I looked for a long, and that was coming off of this trend line, which I'll just go back to the 60 again. And again, I should have waited. If I waited for that play, this is pull back to the trend line just there at 50, 67, no 50, 70 area. We had the point of control in that area as well, so it's heavy volume, acts as extra support. Trend line, everyone's watching for the break and retest. We've got another trend line just below, that major one goes back to October, and we're in this area of demand, and we've been in this area as well, so it's a big support area as well. So that should have been the play I was waiting for today, just that one probably. And so I did take it, and I was down quite a bit by that point, and it took some patience and some work. So I went long. I think I took some profit up here. It came back a bit. I kind of came out of my trade, and I had trade exit regrets, so I got back in again. So I kind of lost a few ticks on getting back in, and then I just let it run. I got out, basically I got out at 3R and 5R, and then I let my last runner run, and I got out. It's not a bad out actually there, not quite the top, but about $1 from the top. So decent. Ended up green in the end, but it was hard work getting there, and I traded the entire day for that. And I don't want to trade the entire day. I just want to trade 9:30 to about midday, which is about 5 p.m. here in the UK, because it leaves me tired. It leaves me basically, the last thing I want to do at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night after trading, especially on a red day, is do a trade recap video just to go through my mistakes. Although I did go through them in my head, I wrote it down, I updated my journal. I just didn't want to share it. That's the reason I've not done any trade recaps the last few days. But I thought today I was going to do one whether it's red or green anyway, because I like to get into the habit of doing it, because I don't journal that well, and this is basically my journal, and saying it out loud making it makes it more real. So probably had I did my trade recaps probably on Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe I would have traded better the following day. But that's what it's all about, the learning curve, and dealing with days or weeks like this. I don't have many red days, and I don't handle them very well, so I need to work on that side of things. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you might get something out of this. More of a rant and rave at myself. And last day tomorrow, first day of the month tomorrow. This is a leap day today, so the 29 days in February, and I'm glad it's a leap day because it actually helped me turn green. But like I said, it was hard work. That was my entry there, and that's my exit there. So I nailed. I'm good at nailing tops and bottoms, and I'm really good. Although it did take 4 attempts to nail it, so I wouldn't say that's a great. I wouldn't say I nailed the top. If you keep going short enough times, you're bound to get the top, and it feels like that sometimes. But I do use order flow, and I'm looking for absorption up here as well. Here, I was kind of purely going into greed mode, and I was just trying to get a quick scalp on that big move up, thinking we'd get a little bit of a move down to about 50% way, but that didn't work. So, my plan is only to trade the hours, the market hours, which is 9:30 onwards, and I should have ignored all this and not even trade 9:30. I'd like to let it rest for 10 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes, just to see where the market's going before I get into the trade. But just going back to the data candle as well, you can see now the 50% mark. I know we kind of poked through it, but the bodies of the candles were there. In fact, this big red candle down, the body stopped at the 50%. You can't say that's not algos controlling this. They know they're using the fibs. They've got the first data candle lined up. They know where they're going, and then look how it came down and just respected the top of that data candle, not once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, could say maybe 5 times, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, 11 times it came back again. So that's the reason I keep an eye, and it's really important. I think it's this candle, the first 5-minute candle after a data drop, the 8:30 data drop, one of the major news events. It's worth keeping an eye on. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow. Even though I've had a red week, I'm not a believer. I'm not a quitter. I don't not want to give up. I'll just keep going and going and going and going until finally I've got it. And my trading over the last 3 years has got much better. My trading over the last 6 months has got much better. It's just my main issue now is dealing with red days. Dealing with over trading, especially when I get 1 or 2 red trades to start the day, and it kind of sets me off on a negative mindset for the rest of the day, and that's when my over trading comes in, and that's where my revenge trading comes in. That's where my tilt comes in as well. So today was a bit more controlled, although, you know, at one point I was quite in the red and I managed to claw it back, and that's only because, again, I decided to sit off and just let this run. And look at that, if you let it run, that's what happens. If you self-manage or you manage your trades and you're trying to get in, you're getting out, you're getting in, you're getting out, it just adds to the mess. So today I got in, I think my in was about on that trend line. I got out at 3R, 5R and 10R. Look at that, that's not bad, is it? And that's just by not managing it. And I managed to be about 7 or 8R down just by managing, just by not even going with my plan over here. So just goes to show, one trade, all I need is one trade and that turns it around. But I just need to cut out this crap over here, you know, dealing with all of this side. I was in short there, I should have just let it run and let it run, not try and manage it. I think what it is, when I see the first red candle if I'm long, or the first green candle if I'm short, I go into panic mode and I don't let it breathe enough. You just gotta let the trade breathe and just trust yourself, trust your levels. And the only level I had was that level there was the level, and obviously that's a level, and this was the level I was watching, and obviously the trend line. So, and look, it came to all of those levels today, over and over actually here. So, right, that's it, definitely going. Thank you for watching.